It's Cinderin. We have Spirit versus BetBoom, game number 1 of this best of 3. Cinderin, is Winter going home?
I don't know. Okay, let me just quickly preface this. First of all, thank you, Effie, for keeping an open mind. I think that's very admirable. And I just want to say, this is not the first time that BetBoom has had us scratching our heads. We did so last night as well with their Legion pick. They won that game.
Yeah, true.
I'll believe it until I see it fail. That's my attitude toward BetBoom right now, because they're on some good shit right now in this patch. They know some stuff. They know what to do.
Yeah, them and PSG LGD are the only 2 undefeated teams in this group stage.
And we had, I think that game yesterday, it looked like that was going to be a really tough one for them, and they found a way. And I think their mindset in this game is, yeah, this Broodmother matchup might be tricky for the anti-mage, but if we can get to that Vanguard and we can stabilize, we'll be able to find our farm. And ultimately, their #1 goal is to beat Morphling, which is proving to be a challenge for a lot of teams right now. This hero is incredibly powerful this patch.
Yep.
Anti-mage, one of the best matchups against Morph from a carry-to-carry perspective, and you also have the Doom. So they have some solutions for the hero, potentially. But for me, more so than anything else in this draft, as much as they want to harp on the anti-mage and whatnot, the biggest surprise out of all of this draft, can you guess what that is?
What?
Collapse is playing Brood.
Okay. Well, we've seen him play Brood before, haven't we?
Have we?
Probably.
He despises this hero. He said in the last patch, he was like, I hope things get changed. I hope Brood gets nerfed. I don't like Brood. I want to play Blink Initiators. I want to fight. I don't like what this hero does to the game. And here we are. If you can't beat them, join them, as they say. And,
I mean, yeah. When you think of
again, so
when you think of Collapse, it is Blink Initiators. That is definitely true. I feel like we have cast them on Brood before, but yeah, it's certainly rare.
So I'm very curious to see how he's going to play in this game. First of all, his level of comfort on the hero. The guy is obviously incredibly talented and should be able to play anything with a bit of practice, but this is definitely not a hero that's generally in his wheelhouse. And that's also why BetBoom didn't ban it at all, because it's like, Collapse is not going to play Brood, surely. And that makes for a little bit of a wild card, right? Because BetBoom were absolutely not expecting this, and their anti-mage might have planned for something else, or they might be like, all right, despite there being a Brood, we're still going to go for what we were planning originally.
Yeah.
But very curious to see how the laning stage plays out for AM versus Brood.
Yeah, I do agree. A lot of their lineup is kind of tailored around, in some respects, against this Morph, which continues to get through and continues to be kind of the...
Yeah.
I think earlier in the tournament, I said Bloodseeker was the carry of this patch, but it's in this tournament, at least, it's definitely changed to be Morphling, basically getting through every single time, which begs the question, are there better counters still in the game that people aren't picking? Like we discussed Necro potentially, or AA. I mean, AA is one of those heroes that has Nightfall, Blood Grenade applied to him, pops the Fairy Fire, but first blood will go to Mira, who dies shortly after. Either way, Spirit going to be super happy with that exchange, and Pure is going to die in this top lane as well, and Save continuing to get chased by 2 zombies. Some blocks from Aposhka are enough to get another one. So 3-1 Spirit.
I'll make a case for that trade bottom being relatively even. I know it was first blood, but Silencer getting 2 int away from the Rubik is actually pretty meaningful in this lane. It is going to swing the power dynamic by quite a bit. But yeah, first blood, obviously, you're going to be very, very happy with that.
2 int?
Yeah.
I feel like you're exaggerating.
What do you mean? One hero loses 2 damage, the other one gets 2.
Okay.
Lose some mana. We've talked about this we've talked about this previously, how 1 armor or 2 of a stat or something can change a lot. This time it goes 2 ways.
Yeah, but you
gain
made,
and they lose.
Sure.
It's pretty impactful in a lane like this to lose 2 attributes and give them to the other support. Okay. Not saying they're just gonna trash them now or whatever, but
okay, the way you said it made it sound like they're gonna trash them now.
You trade a kill for a kill. One was first blood and the other one was an int exchange. It's a relatively fair exchange, you know? Everybody shake hands.
Yep, that's fair.
The top lane is the bigger problem, I think, for BetBoom, though, because that double kill that they just got for no exchange and the Morph now already being level 3 and having a free time, Doom is not going to pressure this guy. Yatoro is going to have a completely free laning stage. There's no way they stop this. Yeah. And that's the bigger concern. Can Anti-Mage keep up with what Yatoro is going to be bringing to the table?
Yep, and Yatoro almost certainly, as Toronto-Tokyo will be taken out. Another Blood Grenade pop there as Nightfall will be able to live. But I'm sure Linken's will be picked up on the Morph at some point to counteract the Doom, which means he'll have to go Aghanim Scepter, and we've seen the Ags kind of be hit or miss to some degree because it's always positioning based. I mean, talk to me about counters to Morphling, maybe heroes that you think would be good that haven't been really getting any love in this patch?
I don't know. We saw, I think it was PSG played an AA game. So it has been run once. And I think
Do you know what position that was?
It was probably 5 by Y, I would imagine.
I mean, my understanding with AA is like you just have to get away with it in the lane somehow. And then after that, it can definitely be good.
Drow generally has a really good matchup against Morph, but she's just fallen extremely out of favor. She got nerfed really hard, which is also a bigger part of why the Morph has regained popularity. Yeah, I'm looking over it. There really isn't much that's inspiring me when I'm looking at the current hero roster.
Poshka puts down the tombstone just as he dies. Not getting good value out of that as GPK has to be a little weary here with that Shadow Strike apply. Wait, is he dead?
No.
What level is that? Okay. Ooh, 9 HP.
He did the math there with the Bracer in the tower region, of course. Yeah, nice pressure from Laurel. As to be expected, co-op against Pango. Good lane for the Queen. He's 27-9 against the 20-0 on GPK. And Laurel, as a result, will absolutely get level 6 first. Question is if that's going to lead to a kill. He needs to find a way to regenerate mana. So first of all, bottle refill will do some of the job. Still probably going to need to find a rune as well. Nightfall's having a terrible time here.
Yeah.
The panel we're talking about, this lane is not easy for AM. Even when he gets Vanguard, it can be tricky, but until then, it's particularly hard.
Well, he's not that far away. Only a couple hundred gold from the Vit booster to complete that as Pure getting chased out by a Tora. You can see the blood grenade from a Poshka. Save, trying to block Decrep's Pure as well, but I think that's just going to delay the inevitable. And Team Spirit get away with another kill with no reciprocation whatsoever.
Don't worry for Pure just yet, because he died 5 times as Legion last night in 10 minutes.
True.
And still had major impact later.
Was that the only different hero he's played other than Doom?
His last 6 games, I think he's played 5 Dooms. So, yeah. Probably.
He's gotten some good practice at least. Maposhka, he's going to get gone on by Save now. And he's going to have to try to dodge a Nether Blast, which
I like that
ain't
Save.
happening.
That was nice that he didn't attack him there. He's preventing Maposhka from finding a potential suicide to the neutrals.
Oh, have a fight over his bottom root area as Toronto Tokyo taken out by the Sonic Wave. Very exciting.
Yep.
So nice. Laurel, top 3 net worth. In fact, all 3 top 3 net worths in the game, all 3 top 3 net worths, that makes a lot of sense, are on Team Spirit's side. So off to a pretty damn good start.
Nightfall's going to stabilize now. He's going to keep Brood on 0 mana the whole time with his Vanguard, and that should be getting him nicely back into the game. It's more a matter of how the other lanes are going to do. The silver lining here for GPK and mid is that now that Sonic Wave is on cooldown, you have a little bit more freedom.
Yep, it's Nightfall getting pressured a bit, but with that Vanguard not taking nearly as much damage now. And one thing to keep in mind for the off lane is you're going to see the Decay come out onto Pure, Adaptive Strike as well. He's just going to attempt to run up. I mean, the last game that we cast, like you said, where he was Legion and just feeding uncontrollably, Save was Coddle and getting farm.
Yeah.
Right?
That was definitely a better trade-off in a way.
And I just don't see the same value coming out of a Pugna. I mean, I don't think he's going to be able to sit here alone and farm like a Coddle with the long-range nukes. So definitely a different dynamic. His Blood Grenade is used, but Collapse is just going to pop the Insatiable Hunger. He's going to get a lift from Mira to try to take out Toronto Tokyo, but Nightfall is here to assist.
And this is obviously a perfect Soul Ring game for the Broodmother. You're playing against Anti-Mage, so you can always Soul Ring Insatiable Hunger, so you can stand your ground and keep having laning presence. Otherwise, AM will whittle you down over time. So, like that build a lot from Collapse here. Just keep that going. And Mira kind of has the freedom to do whatever he wants in the Rubik. I think he's going to be looking to maybe stack a little bit. They don't have the exact best heroes for farming them, but we'll trade off here.
Does he actually want to go for this? He does. Going to force the blink out.
Okay.
All right. Rolling to the bot lane. All right. Can't quite get up there.
Well,
Rolling Thunder down for 70 seconds.
That sure was an ulti.
Just testing to make sure it works.
All time, that was one of them.
It was. And Nightfall is getting a bit low now as Mira makes an appearance as well. Might have to blink out here momentarily, but Collapse, like you said, has no mana, just has to rely on the Soul Ring now. But either way, kind of forcing Nightfall out for the most part. And AM, a very slow farmer without the Battle Fury, of course.
Yeah, and I wonder if this lane is going the way Nightfall was expecting.
Yeah, well, he's taking more damage now as Dota2 has come in to tank up some of that damage as another TP coming in fact, from Save. There's the ult from Night Stalker, Nightfall. That's a hero I'd love to see more often as Sonic Wave comes in. And that means AM is dead, Silencer dead, Pugna dead. What a rotation from Laurel. With that double damage, able to take out the Nether Ward as well, and probably the tier 1.
And of course, the good news in all of this is that we get to keep Winter around as things are looking right now.
Doom top lane into nothing.
I think Pure was trying to Doom Yatoro from Fog here, and Yatoro just reacted in time or something, but...
Probably.
Yeah, he tips him back. I don't know why.
Yeah, this is a rough start for Pure.
Definitely one of the hard. And so here's the thing. In other BetBoom games where we've been like, do we really understand the draft or whatever? There's been like one or, at the very minimum, one core to lean on, right? In this game, all three are having a tough time. And Nightfall, who has been hard carrying some of the games with, for example, his Morphling, he is just not in range of anything here. 3k net worth on the anti-mage 10 minutes in is not a good look.
Yep. GPK giving it a second try. And Laurel doesn't have blink for another 8 seconds, but he just cannot find the connection, so has to kind of abort this. As GPK uses the swash and misses. Just everything is discombobulated from BetBoom. And Mira was getting gone on by GPK as he goes to the high ground, but now is slowed to a crawl. Another missed swashbuckle in the fog. And he is brought down to earth. My goodness, this is the worst start we've seen from BetBoom in this group stage 2.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And it's always, I mean, we haven't really talked about this, but it's interesting to see these two teams play against each other compared to a lot of the global competition, right? Because they have so much inter-regional or intra-regional experience, I should say. And generally speaking, Team Spirit has been having BetBoom's number within the region, but recently, BetBoom have been, taking more games off them, challenging them more. This time around, it is just not happening. Collapse on the Brood. Well, it might not be his favorite hero, but he's doing great. So,
yeah, well, that is death number 3 now for the AM, Mr. Nightfall.
I can't believe Mira thought BetBoom had a chance.
Yeah, the more you play Dota, the more you watch.
Nah, I was giving them just as much of the benefit of the doubt, to be honest. So I can't just throw her under the bus like that.
Very exciting chase down onto Nightfall there. He just wasn't able to blink. Still on cooldown.
Hear me out. All heroes can create highlights in Dota, right? Like you can make epic moments with any hero. When's the last time you saw an epic Brood moment?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess it would be mostly like split pushing, kind of all by himself.
Epic AFK.
Yeah.
The hero does its job, but it's not flashy. Let's put it that way.
I mean, if you take like a barracks while there's a team fight, because you're 4v5, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's
GPK
not flashy.
Has to use the swash and might have to use his ult.
Oh boy.
Collapse wants to force it out, but not going to make the connection, other than the high five, of course. And that is a 12-minute Midas on Pure, who is the top net worth on BetBoom. I mean, him and Nightfall, their farm is not good, obviously, but you can see as, Dota2 taken out now. I mean, they're just dying in every lane. It's 12-3. Pure will get the Doom off. TP's coming in as well. Can they find this connection? Save just clips him with the Nether Blast, and there's the connection. But will he get the deny? No. Taro not able to find that, but they will be going for Save instead, who decreps himself, will give up the Nether Ward and fall shortly after. So a 1-for-1 definite favor going to BetBoom, especially if Pure can live, but even if he doesn't, it's worth. As the Rolling Thunder, this time it will actually hit a unit, only once though. As Pure, make it twice. Mira, what did he steal? He actually stole Rolling Thunder, but the Global Silence comes out. Do they have enough damage to take out this Morph finally? He's completely drained of mana. Yatoro, one more right click should do it, and there's the Rolling Cube from Mira. Connects onto the Doom as Miposhka now gonna get right click down and likely, does get the decay off to stay alive a little bit longer. The Arcane Curse might tick him out. Indeed it does. Dota2 will be the trade, but BetBoom is gonna be pretty damn happy.
Yeah.
Exchange of things here.
Under these circumstances, this is about the best you can hope for. Killing Morphling is massive. And well, Nightfall with the longest recovery curve ahead of him that he's had all tournament. He He's starting to work on a Battle Fury at 13 minutes. So that one's not coming out before 20, probably. Are we seeing here that Steel, obviously, on the, as you call it, rolling cube from Mira. This is a really good global silence. If Mira would have rolling thundered instantly there, I actually think Yotaro lives, because he could have got it off after the spell steal came in, before the global came out. But I think he was hoping to bait them a little bit further and get a really good angle, but then the global from Toronto Tokyo really...
How do you get stuck in Rolling Thunder on the Lotus pool? Is it because it's a cube, Cinder, and is it that realistic?
It just makes no sense that you can get stuck in on a circle, right?
Yeah, it's weird.
How? It's not a circle, I guess. It just looks like one.
Lotus pools in beta.
Fake geometry.
That's why the pros aren't going for the Lotuses, because maybe it's just a temporary thing, you know?
Oh, they're like, this is getting changed soon. Let's not develop good habits. It would be a waste.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Nightfall, like you said, he is a broadsword into the Battle Fury. His Harpoon is finished on Collapse, so this is the build we've been seeing.
He eats these supports alive. They have no chance.
Well, they have Decrepify. That's about it.
Yeah, you can buy yourself 3 seconds and then die after.
Yep, you can.
I mean, you can Decrep TP, sure. You can get away, but in every single fight, if Collapse flanks the supports, they're just screwed. Silencer in particular is atrocious in this matchup. He's bad against everything Brood does. Global isn't good against this hero. You're not good against it in lane, and you're not good against it in the game. So I imagine Collapse will actually like to just go and eat Silencer every fight as his first target. It's just nice to get out of the way. It's very easy, low commitment. Kills him in like 3 seconds. And it's hard to itemize against for Toronto Tokyo. I mean, maybe you can buy Ghost Scepter, but that's on borrowed time when Nullifier is absolutely going to come out in the Brood later. Gonna do the Manta first, though. Pretty standard. Universal build up.
Yep, Crimson is online, though, for Pure. But that's kind of it. And he has to go against the Lincolns that Yotaro already has, because he's just farming so well at the moment. And that basically means that you cannot do Morphling unless somebody else... Well, you could take the Zapping Creep, I suppose, as a Shield Crash from GPK. But Mira still has a Rolling Thunder. And he's going to steal Shield Crash after using the Rolling Thunder to get away.
Uneventful.
Yeah. Perhaps didn't want to get doomed, although I feel like you kind of want to get doomed.
Yeah, that would have been okay, I think. Anyway, BetBoom poised to take this tower. Spirit are trying to delay it as much as they can, but eventually it will fall to another blast here. So
Nightfall, he is 200 from Claymore, so one component at a time is when we'll update for his Battle Fury. This is quite slow. 16.5 minutes in.
It's just his worst game of the tournament, right? And it's not like I'm not saying, oh, individual performance, he really dropped the ball in this. It's just the worst conditions he's had. So Team Spirit have really made sure with this Brood pick to make his life as miserable as possible, and it's paying dividends here. It's
well, I mean, when he was on Laurel,
we'll get away.
When he was on EG, he was playing offlane, so he's kind of used to, in some respects, getting
Brood.
crashed on, right?
He played the crap out of Brood. He knows this hero very well.
Save. Gonna heal back up as BetBoom are occupying Spirit's triangle, but I don't think they're gonna get much out of this. Laurel, does he actually want to keep going? No. Has the Illusions bottle, so can dispel something.
Nice to hold that against Global Silence. Can also use it against Doom if you're clutch.
Yep. GPK, he's got that Diffusal Blade, so Inhibit has been used officially. And back to farming he goes.
This is a very good spell steal on Mira, actually. I think he would like to hold on to that level 4 Nether Blast.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot of siege damage on the Rubik.
Nightfall! Sonic Wave to death, just barely killed.
Oh, boy.
And Spirit continuing the onslaught right now. Save is forced to TP out. Well, they don't find any more kills
here. Rip mid tower.
Yeah, that's a tier 2 down.
I think it's rip bottom tower soon as well, to be honest. I mean, Collapse can just go there if he wants. They can use the Rubik stolen Nether Blast to push. They just have so much control. You see here he's trying for that TP out, but...
Oh, that's yeah, the Quap scream slowed down is... sounds like a dying whale.
Oh, yeah. What? You heard a dying whale before?
Yeah.
Dire's top
Or
tower.
That's very
maybe it's just a whale communicating as well.
That sounds more likely.
Yeah.
I guess if it sounds like a dolphin, it's the sonar pulse.
True. The dire advantage on bounties again.
The sonar boom.
There's got to be something to this, by the way. There has to be. There's no way it's just every single game they show the graphic. They could be trolling us. Like, what
They're
games
just
have they
fake
not
numbers
shown
every
it?
game.
Or that.
They only show it when it's dire favored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Radiant
Production.
are scanned.
How dare you.
It's definitely a
9K lead for Spirit.
Radiant's bottom
Their
tower
lead just
is under
continuing to
attack.
grow, but BetBoom, I mean, they've smoked up so...
You would be proud of them.
kinda
They
wanna
smoked
fight.
to get a lotus flower.
Okay, that's something, yep.
There you
We
go.
better get those bounties, but at least they have more than 2 this game.
Oh my god. That is
14
insane.
runes.
What the hell?
Radiant's bottom tower is
That's
under
basically
attack.
every power rune and a few bounties on top.
Yeah. 14 runes on Quap. What?
Dire's top tower is
And now Collapse can come finish the tier 2 bot as BetBoom not really interested in taking part of this. The Doom is used, though, on Laurel, who's
nice
just going to get
find.
rolling thundered on, so a really nice pickoff for BetBoom. They get something for this tier 2 tower, which technically isn't dead yet.
Radiant's bottom tower
I mean, at this
is under
point, any
attack.
kill is a win, right? When
Yeah.
you're this starved and this controlled, you have to take what you can get, and killing the Queen of Pain with the Doom there is definitely a nice grab for them. There goes the
Radiant's
tower.
bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah, production was hovering over the shard for Brood, by the way, which he did purchase himself.
Dire's
Yep.
top
Pretty
tower
cool
is
one
under
for Insatiable Hunger. Makes it just better.
Yep.
Kind of a cool design. Ramps up his damage, essentially.
Yeah, I think it can get a little bit deceptive in fights where all of a sudden Brood starts hitting like an absolute monster toward the end of that.
Yeah.
You might not account for that and for how much the lifesteal is actually going to come into play. So when you're going off like muscle memory or you're feeling about, okay, can I actually win this trade as anti-mage or whatever? And Brood just keeps healing more and more and just hitting harder. It's a pretty cool Sharga. I agree.
And it is base damage, Insatiable Hunger, right?
Yeah.
And it is a universal hero, so these stat items will be kind of crazy with the shard,
Dire's courier has been killed.
I assume. Am I wrong on this?
Wait, what did he mana void?
Some creeps, you know, just got to get some farm efficiency. The Battle Fury is online with 500 gold to boot.
Give mana void to Rubik. Well,
Okay.
I don't think that's what Miro was hoping for. It's like, why the hell does I get mana void?
Maybe he did that because he knew something was going to get stolen.
Well, what's going to get stolen is the Tormentor.
Yeah, that's a little bit more valuable, maybe.
Mira will get the telekinesis for friends.
Save online.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Butterfly there as well for Yatoro.
I mean, Roche has to be a formality at this point, right? You just take this top tier
Yeah.
tower and you just go for it. You are ridiculously far ahead right now, considering the type of game that this is. You know Anti-Mage cannot join any fight for the next 10 minutes, so...
Is it 10 minutes? You think with one item, he's got to... I feel like he's got to start fighting at that point. The Manta.
I just don't see it, man. Like, maybe he can show up and mana void the Queen of Pain, but I think that's pretty much the most contribution you can hope for out of Nightfall right now.
Well, if you get a Doom target, you can blink on top of him with Manta, and that's kind of secured mana void, but
Yeah.
you have to be set up by somebody.
I'm definitely not saying that he should stay away from everybody necessarily. I'm just saying the type of fight that he needs to find is very difficult considering the game state. Because sometimes you're like, all right, I gotta go for it. It's gonna be hard, and I get that, but how would they meet those conditions with the amount of information they're playing up against? There's always gonna be a Brood split pushing and pressuring them.
Dire are scanning.
They're gonna be playing with vision inferiority pretty much the entire rest of this game until they find some big team fight, but they can't win a 5v5 realistically speaking. So you have to try to find like some sort of picks around the map with Doom maybe and build that into something. But for now, they're gonna have to deal with an Aegis because there is no way in hell BetBoom come and contest this. It's just not winnable.
Yeah, well, the scarier thing now for the supports is the fact that Mr. Collapse has not only the Harpoon, but the Nullifier. So
Yeah.
he will basically just hard counter Pugna and any decrep that comes out. So, first Aegis goes the way of Spirit, as they have pretty good control of this game right now. Now, having said that, we have seen teams try to push high ground a little bit too early and get punished. How is the high ground advantage for BetBoom? It doesn't seem that good compared to a lot of the lineups that we've seen recently.
I think the biggest problem for them is how do you kill Morph twice? Because I can see them doing it once. And that one kill involves Doom. I think without it, they don't kill him, right? I mean, I guess there's a world where he can die in Global because you don't have Manta. So maybe, but I'm pretty sure Team Spirit is just going to put them to the task. Like, good luck.
Yep.
We're going for it. What are you guys going to do about it?
They're going to poke the high ground.
Nice disarm. That'll delay things a bit, but Yatoro...
And GPK, he does have Aghanim Scepter and just about to hit level 15. He really needs that talent.
Collapse pops the Insatiable Hunger right as backdoor protection case.
It happens.
That was awkward.
All right, this wave should give him 15, so that's going to be a pretty sizable power spike for GPK. But the tower is Crimson. That'll mitigate quite a bit of damage. There's the Decrep onto Yatoro, but...
Oh, they have Nether Blast again.
Oh, yeah.
That is
so
true.
Good on
that Rubik.
Lotus applied to Yatoro.
Look at that damage, man.
They might just have to give this up. Nightfall was still farming, is starting to back away now.
And new waves coming in.
He's just going to push the waves. Yeah, the backdoor protection.
This lane is dead, and I'm not talking about the BSJ way.
Okay, is that a first life already? Global Silence comes out. They need to get this first kill, and it actually does not expend anything. They still have Doom. The Rolling Thunder, the main thing used, and you can see Nightfall still farming on the other side of the map. Another Nether Blast comes in. Pure goes in. Does not use his Doom yet because of the Lincoln Sphere. Nullifier applied to him. He's trying to get healed by Save. Doing a pretty good job, but the Sonic Wave comes in. Then the barracks will go down in favor of Spirit, but they don't get any kills. I mean, that's not... I mean, obviously it's bad for BetBoom. They did get rid of the Aegis. They have a way to fight now, potentially.
They might have actually been able to kill the Morph if Nightfall TP'd back there. I think there was potentially a world where that was possible because they executed the first kill with Global very well. Like, we theorized that that could be a possibility, and it did work out. So, I mean, kudos to BetBoom for a decent hold. I say that as they lose their barracks, but honestly, that could have been way worse. So, question is if they're buying enough time. Like, Antimage is obviously starting to recover. He is closing the gap because he's just non-stop farming while the enemy team is pushing.
Yeah, so he has his Manta now. So Vanguard, Manta, Battle Fury, and Basher is going to be next. And I think if they were to do that again, he would take part in the fight, surely.
Yeah.
I don't think you can give up 2 racks. 1 racks, like you said, the game is going so poorly that that seemed okay for them somehow.
Yeah. And I actually think the only reason they lost the barracks was the stolen Nether Blast. I think they would have kept them without it.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of a...
Can we see the tower damage?
Life drain anytime.
Or the building damage. I feel like Rubik did a lot of building damage in this game. Look at that. That's a Rubik.
Yeah.
Out of this, it's probably like 90% Nether Blast, right? Out of those 3K.
Nightfall just farming under the nose of Miposhka. Yeah, Team Spirit, very methodical approach. We'll be pushing the top lane. There's still the tier 2 tower there. I don't believe that they've even gone for their Tormentor yet, and that's still standing.
That is a pretty that is a pretty good indication. These item timings. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to like necessarily quantify exactly how important it is when items come in, but that Manta delay on AM by 3 minutes 40 seconds is really significant. It very much goes to show how tough this one has been for him. And I know he went for a build-up Vanguard by necessity, but still, it's definitely way late for Nightfall.
Well, he's only 800 away from... Is that going to be full Abyssal or just Bash? I think just Basher. As the tier 2 tower is going to be given up for free, and GPK wants to fight apparently. Rolling Thunder's there, uses his shard as well to be able to bring down Brood, but the heal is coming out. It's not enough. Collapse does fall. So a nice pickoff from BetBoom as Nightfall has joined the fight. And when that happens, you get a core kill. Is this a glimmer of hope for BetBoom?
This game is not over. It never was. It was just always going to be very hard. But step by step, close that gap, find the openings, and that's definitely something that their lineup has going for it. Their means of initiation are pretty damn good. You have Doom with Blink, you have the Pango ult with... You saw it there, the Brute didn't even get to play his hero in that fight. You have Global Silence to cover your initiation, and Anti-Mage, when that Abyssal comes out, you have another means of initiation. So, honestly, It's not looking that bad for BetBoom right now. I think they've kind of overcome one of the hardest stages of the game. This is a great initiation coming out from GPK. Lotus Orb doesn't help him here at all. And Manta will clean that up.
Yep, Pure still doesn't have a... Wait, let me click on him. Yeah, still doesn't have a way to break the Lincoln, so relying on his teammates for that now. I feel like we've seen in past instances where you just go for anything that's single target for a creep to be able to pop that. But then if you do that, Morphling can react fast enough to not.
Yeah, I think you keep the War Stomp. It's just too good.
So you got to rely on somebody else, like a quick life drain or anything.
Yeah, life drain could do it. You could, I mean, you can obviously buy an item for it yourself later. I don't think he's going to, as you said, but I also don't know if he has to Doom the Morph. I actually don't think that's a requirement. I think Dooming Queen of Pain is really good.
Yeah, true.
I think Dooming Brood can also be solid. Obviously, if you get an initiation like you did before, you don't need to use it at all. If Pango gets that clean of a hit, but yeah, win expectancy for the graph right now for BetBoom is actually 31%. So
yeah, GPK.
Which means it's 69 for Team Spirit.
He's ready to ult.
Everybody loves the meme numbers.
Spiders are scouting. Both teams. I mean, Roche actually is not possible to be up for another minute and a half. Usually we see this stalemate around the time that he could be spawning. But now we are seeing that well in advance, as both teams want to potentially just gain control of this area. So you can see drawing on the minimap, Spirit are going to GTFO. But smokes on both sides. They might just be missing each other, though. But the thing I really like about BetBoom in this game, win or lose, a lot of these other teams that are down at that point, they force a fight, they die, and they lose. This one, we know what our power spikes are. Let's play to them, even if it costs us a barracks basically for free.
Yeah, they have a good...
Just stick to the plan.
They have a good game understanding for sure. I definitely agree. I think a lot of teams fall in a trap in this game maybe and just drop the ball, but...
Look at that.
And it's also
2 minutes faster than average.
It's also
after his start.
It's not only that they dodged the fight that they did, it's also that they got the kills that they could, right? They killed the Queen of Pain with Doom earlier in the jungle. They found that opening on Brood top. So they're getting a couple of free picks here and there to just make things just that little bit better while they build up. And yeah, now the lead is only 5K, so it's 6K.
That's right, it is 6.
Numbers change just when you say it.
5K.
I think BetBoom are one team fight away from being ahead in this game, though. They don't even need to like clean house. If they just win a fight by like 1 or 2 kills, I actually have I have really high hopes for them to win this game at that point, because...
Oh, it's a long Roche.
Yep.
Look at that.
That is max timer, more
245 now. And the funny thing is, you fight here, one team gets decimated. They'll have another try to defend.
Yep.
In the Roche pit, but through the gates they come.
Oh my god, so many spiders.
Yeah, that's a lot of spiders. That makes a lot of noise.
You played the gate sound for every spiderling?
I guess so.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's great.
Didn't think Brood could be more obnoxious.
Oh.
They found a way.
Yeah, you always. Don't worry.
They're going to swap places now as BetBoom looking for the jump. And we can obviously see that Roche is not coming up anytime soon.
My Poshka showing.
Yep, the blink in. Laurel past the pop his BKB. He instantly
Nice
gets a
Lotus.
pistol, but it's reflected with the Lotus. And there goes the global silence. His collapse is just decimating the back line. Able to find 1 kill, but that's a buyback onto the silencer now. The trade for the Undying is now Pure gets initiated on by Yatoro. He's kind of all alone. Sonic Wave clips him as well. He's BKB'd in the tree line. Gets off the War Stomp, but will likely just get right-clicked down. Indeed, he does. 65 seconds of no Doom. Another Nullifier kill coming in for Collapsing Company. And BetBoom will likely have to back, although they might be able to pick off a support here in Mira.
That Lotus Orb on Queen of Pain changed everything. Doom wanted to Doom there.
Nightfall, harpooned in.
Yes, Manta.
Indeed, he does.
So if they don't Lotus Quap at that exact moment and she gets doomed, this whole fight is actually very BetBoom favorite, I think. So nicely done there by Spirit to protect Laurel and get a nice payout with that Doom kill. Now they can reap their grand reward of looking at Roshan's home for a minute.
Yeah, well, the good news for them is that when it does come up, it will still be on this. Well, I guess maybe that's BetBoom favored. It will still be on this side. So BetBoom will have plenty of time to reset, but What cooldowns will not be available?
See this Lotus here. Laurel. Pure really wants to doom him, but he doesn't want to take the return doom, obviously, and then he ends up dooming the Brood, which, I mean, it doesn't really do that much. He has all his stuff running already. He's used Insatiable Hunger and BKB, so I kind of feel like this doom is just thrown away, and this fight's over. So they cut their losses, they trade off the doom for the Undying, and they trade off their Pugna as well for the Rubik, so, I mean, not too terrible for BetBoom.
Another smoke. And focus is on Collapse, who's forced to pop his BKB. Can they actually chase him down? Still a Lotus applied. Rolling Thunder from GPK. Just going to get right-clicked by Yatoro. Pops a BKB of his own. There's the Mana Void. Deletes Collapse. Does not have buyback, and they get the Doom off as well. Global Silence just came back. In addition, Sonic Wave popped by Laurel, but it's not going to be enough to save Yatoro, who does end up falling. And now Mira will be able to steal Blink. And he'll likely get away, but 3 dead for Spirit, as now BetBoom, a second try. They're successful, which means Roche is now theirs. I mean, a lot of that is just based on the RNG of when Roche spawns, but they were fortunate here.
But this is what mattered, right? I feel like they're ahead in the game now. They needed that one team fight win. It's a 3-for-0 fight. They get the Roche. They're going to get Aegis and Cheese going into the next one. Antimage is going to finish a Butterfly. They have, again, as we've talked about with BetBoom, you might be a bit confused about their drafts. You might feel like there's room for improvement. But their game sense and understanding of when to fight and when to dodge is, I feel like it's more or less only matched by PSG LGD in this tournament so far. Just really, really good awareness of timings and of limitations. Which is kind of funny to say, because I feel like that's always been BetBoom's Achilles heel, right?
Yeah.
Is knowing their limits. But in this tournament, at least in Group Stage 2, they're showing some clear improvement on that front. And that's very good news for their fans, because BetBoom, whenever they've gone like somewhat deep in tournaments, they've run into some walls sometimes. This time around, it looks like they might just overcome that. If they could get a win in this series and be 4-0, in a very good spot to make the playoffs and be top 4 in this tournament, which is already a great accomplishment. This is an elite tier tournament going on right here. And top 4 would be BetBoom's best international result all year.
Yep. I mean, there was a lot of fanfare, right, when they were put together. It's kind of an all-star team. We've talked about it time and time again. Basically, 4 core players distributed into 3.
Yeah, true.
A lot of carries as well. I have to change roles, but they're finding a way right now. But Team Spirit, I mean, what do they need to do now? Because they were in the driver's seat. They still have that bottom set of racks. That's not going to grow back.
Yeah.
And they do have a Brood that can keep that pushed.
I think the biggest problem is finding a way for Yatoro to play with confidence. Because I think now the counters are starting to mount.
Nightfall, Abyssal, Mana Void, deletes Mira.
Easy kill. So the games that we've seen Morph dominate are games where the enemy team can't reliably force Morphling out of the fight when he engages. But in this case, if you want to waveform in with BKB on, you have to be Lotus so that Doom dooms himself. Otherwise, you just get doomed instantly. Antimage is going to blink Abyssal you, and when your BKB runs out, he's going to body you.
Oh my, the shortest Rolling Thunder of all time, but GPK gets the job done. Both supports Death for Spirit. Both do have buyback as the high ground now being poked a bit here by Nightfall. It's more than a poke, I suppose.
Time for Nightfall to overtake Rubik on building damage.
That's right.
Yatoro's going to turn into the Antimage here. Yatoro, worth noting, playing without Ags.
Oh, interesting.
So Antimage has all his stats here.
Yep, as, well, Save might not be so lucky. He gets gone on by Collapse, but no more mana for Collapse, but he's able to get to the high ground. The Sonic Wave kind of whiffs, it looks like. Yatoro blinks in, now waveforms away. And you see Nightfall just continuing to hit buildings. Still with the Aegis, still with the Cheese. BetBoom not feeling pressured at all. And in terms of buildings, they're essentially going to even the game in that respect.
Yep.
Range Rax does survive, but who gives a shit?
And they lost nothing major. So you lose the Pugna there, but it cost the enemy team 2 BKBs. Both the Brood as well as the Morphling used theirs. And you still have Aegis and Cheese in hand, and you did not expend Doom. So if you want to go for another move sometime soon, you can. I like this play from Collapse. It's pretty much the best thing that he can do here.
Yeah, that hit actually nothing. That's unfortunate for Laurel.
What the horse happens next?
That would have been a good clip. That's true.
Pro Edition. That would actually be funny to go down memory lane and find some iconic clips where either things go really well or really poorly and see how much you remember.
Yeah.
From Dota history, there's definitely been some absolutely hilarious misses and some insane hits sometimes with different things.
Yep, I remember the Aegis Deny. Was that, is it HY or?
KYXY.
KYX.
Oh,
I knew it was one of those.
Don't bring it back to there.
Yeah.
TI3 could have been a totally different beast. It actually looked like Orange were going to win that game.
Yeah, that was...
They were doing so well, and then they just tilted off the surface of the earth after that.
Rolling Thunder from GPK, but it's dodged, but the roll-up coming back for the Undying kill. And they get the Doom on Laurel. And with that, I think they're going to try to force a buyback. I don't know if they'll have time to actually push in this bot lane, so mid lane will likely be the choice.
Bad news. It looks like Winter will have to take the next flight.
Yep.
But maybe we get to keep BSJ then. So
yeah, can we get that all sorted out? Logistics team?
Well, we need a replacement for Winter, guys, so let's...
I mean, that just goes to show how well BetBoom played. I mean, it's not over yet, obviously. But even just being in this conversation is impressive enough. As the Mana Void coming in, the jump, Mira's dead. All three have buyback from Spirit, though. But Nether Blast and the right clicks of Nightfall with still the Aegis for 18 seconds. Looks like they'll give up this second set.
I actually think I heard backstage BSJ said, "I'll join you on the flight, Winter." So maybe they're both going to Malaysia together.
Oh, okay.
That'd be nice. I feel like the big winner in all of that is BSJ. I guess, you know, take a nice romantic vacation with Winter. I think that's something a lot of people aspire for.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's a taken man, but can't all have what we want.
Moment of silence for BSJ.
Yeah.
He does have the mana burn now, so he did opt for the Lincoln's break from Pier's side.
I switched it up now. Oh, look at that building damage.
What's the...
All of a sudden.
How long does it take to cast the mana burn from that creep? Do you know? Is it like... does it have... It has a cast time, right?
It does. I mean, Doom has his base animation on every spell, I think. Right? I think he does the same animation for more or less every spell that he steals. He needs to do that arm swing.
Yeah.
He does that when he war stomps. He does it when he mana burns. So I would assume it's the same. It's probably like half a second-ish or something. So you can definitely react if you're...
Half a second is an exaggeration. That's a long time. I don't know about that.
Not sure.
0.35 maybe, Syndrome.
Okay. That's very precise for you.
That's right. Tier 2 tower taken out, and now BetBoom getting some revenge on the opposite Torment, which I think this one's been standing the whole game, if I'm not mistaken. And we're going to see, unfortunately, it saves as Pure is going to find the rest of Team Spirit there. Sonic Wave not missing this time. Yeah, they do want to get more out of this. Pure does not have buyback.
The call is evacuate. Nice catch from Spirit, but just as good escape from BetBoom to not lose any collateral there. But yeah, I like that a lot. Spirit, they recognize they have to go for some sort of moment of opportunity. They find the Doom and blast him immediately, but won't really lead to anything extra, as now that Ag's completed on the Morph, so be able to use that on the Anti-Mage, of course. He will do that anyway.
Can you reflect that? What happens?
Both heroes turn into Rubik.
Well, do you think the debuff gets reflected, though? I wonder. That's interesting.
That's a good question.
Huh.
I don't think anything in the game interacts with Morph.
Okay.
I think they just put in a failsafe for all of their programming efforts.
Failsafe. Yeah, the game just crashes anytime this... I mean, that would be kind of... I mean, that's a good... that would be a pretty cool interaction, though, if you think about it.
That Morph could...
Finally a counter to Morph.
Yeah. Well,
Give him a taste of his own medicine.
They found one anyway.
All right, next Tormentor. Obviously, the Pugna one, not what they're looking for. Nightfall is the next one. Okay. Is that the... It's the counterspell one, yeah. Passively grants an aura. So 10 extra % spell damage reduction. And if you're close, it's 30%.
This is a weird shard.
It is.
I have to say.
They ran out of ideas on this one, which is understandable because they've kind of flip-flopped a lot of this stuff. This was not the highest priority shard, let's just say.
What was the alternative? What else could they've got? The silencer one. I actually think they'd rather have the AM. The Silencer one is not good.
Yeah,
this game.
I mean, both
That's
their
a support.
supports have a bit underwhelming shards. I mean, the Pugna one we've talked about before can be good, but I would say it's somewhat situational. But he does have Aether Lens, I think. So maybe it has better value now. Yeah, the creeps are in Spirit's base.
Oh, that's a big item.
Smoke on both sides.
Refresher just grabbed for Pure.
That is good.
He can very liberally just throw it out on any core because he needs to have.
Oh, Toronto Tokyo. He's gonna pop. Gets the global silence off Nightfall with the Abyssal. They're gonna clean up Maposhka first. As GPK helping take out the second support as well as Pure looking for the Doom target. They're gonna get the Morphling. It looks like he is doomed, and he's gonna be brought down with the Mana Void. Triple kill for Nightfall, and now the focus is on Brood. GG's called. Winter goodbye.
I believe, as they say in Eastern Europe, I believe they say Domoy.